Robert Young. Hey guys, love the show. I consider it the #1 show on YouTube. Very good, thank you for that.
Really? Very good.
First question. No, actually, I'm going to leave that one for another time. Second question. Would either one of you all know who would own the CWA Memphis Library tapes from the late 70s and early 80s? Thanks for all the knowledge about wrestling, and James, thanks for the WSI shows. Thank you. So, who owns the classic
No,
Memphis tapes?
nobody knows who owns them.
Who claims to own them or have a stake in them?
Several people. Uh, in one of my books, I write the story about the Ballad of Memphis or something. And Memphis was sold to this guy named Larry. I can't remember
It's
his
like
last
Bertram
name.
or Burton. It switches.
Larry Burton. And Burton found some marks up there around Columbus, Ohio, or somewhere in Ohio. And they were supposed to have paid like $1 million for the territory. And the guy, and Burton said, I'll run it. And they just didn't do any due diligence on it. Territory was on its side. The only thing they had that was worth anything was Channel 5 in Memphis and some more stations. That's all they had. And then they had a big to do, and the investors bought it or thought they bought it. But I think the ownership now, they voided the sale. So nobody can really determine an owner. It's not Lawler. It's not Jarrett. It's not Larry Burton. It's not the investors who invested money in it. They just didn't do it. So it's indeterminate who owns the Memphis footage.
I think who's claimed. Jerry Lawler probably has a claim somewhere. Jerry Jarrett probably has a claim somewhere. Jeff Jarrett
Yep.
probably has a claim somewhere.
I don't think Jeff does.
Well, now that Jerry's gone, maybe Jeff does. In that
Well,
sense,
maybe.
Larry Burton / Bertram / whatever his real name is. What about Corey Macklin? Didn't he claim that he had the rights at one point?
I don't know, but it was. We ought to be able to use Memphis footage out to Yin Yang because who owns it? Somebody says you can't use that because I own it. Well, when we say prove it, and they can't prove it, so we just continue to. Some of that old Memphis stuff is still pretty good. It's entertaining, and I wonder. That thing when they wanted to call me to testify, I said, testify to what? I said, don't get me involved in this. I don't have nothing. I didn't make a dime of it, didn't put a dime in it. So don't ask me to testify unless you're willing to pay me for my time. And they didn't want to do that. I said, well, I may not be able to be found either when you get ready for take this to court. I won't be there, so don't count on me.
Is it the same for the later libraries, like the USWA stuff? Is it just the same? Absolutely, no one knows who owns it.
No, it's all together, really. USWA, CWA is what? Memphis.
That's Memphis. Well, USWA is Memphis, aside from the bit that was.
And what is CWA?
Dallas.
What does CWA stand for?
Continental Wrestling Association.
Continental was in Pensacola.
Okay, hang on. Right, Memphis Wrestling, CWA. It stands for something, but I think Continental Wrestling Association was Jerry Jarrett. There's just more than one CWA. It's really confusing.
Okay, it is confusing.
It's like there was more than one USWA because Dallas changed the name to USWA first.
I do know that Jerry Jarrett probably got around $180,000 or $200,000 allegedly for his part. I think Lawler got, I don't know, $1 million, maybe $500,000. But then they found out that there was no way to make any money. Their money just went to to the Hawksters, to Burton. You know, Burton's, they don't know his real name.
No.
They still don't know his real name. And I don't even know if he's still alive. Tell you the truth. He called me one day. I'll say my relationship with Larry Burton was very toxic. Because he called me up one day and he says, and this is the way he talked, Dutch, I need you in Memphis Saturday. I said, I'm not going to Memphis Saturday. Yeah, you are. I said, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. God damn it. You're going to. I said, I'm not going to Memphis, mother effer. God damn. Then he started cussing me. I started cussing him. I've never cussed a man. And I don't know if he's cussed a man like that or not. And we would cuss each other face to face. I've never been in more cuss fights that should have led to a physical fight in my life of what I would say to Larry Burton. He was, you don't like him right off the bat. So you want to punch the shit out of him, which I should have done. But anyway, maybe I shouldn't have done it. But he talked like he knew the mafia. He knew this, he knew that. And so he called me up one day. He said, you going to go? I said, no, I'm not. I'm going to Puerto Rico. I'll find you. I said, you won't find me in Puerto Rico. Yes, I will. I said, they can't find the governor half the time. So how you going to find me? Screw you. I ain't doing it. So he had a little friend named Dave, and he didn't want to. I had something he wanted. I forgot what it was.
I know what it was. It was a belt.
A belt. Yeah, he wanted it. Right. And I says, well, okay, pay me the money you owe me and I'll give you the belt, and I don't know, money. I said, bullshit, you owe me $2,000 or $1,800, whatever it was. No, I don't. I said, well, I'll tell you what, you give me that amount of money, I'll give you the belt. He said, why don't we do this? Yeah, why don't we do this? I'll send Dave over there and you give him a belt and I'll write you a check. I said, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. You're already trying to screw me out of money and now just give the belt over? No, I'm not doing it. So, and we cussed each other a little more, and then the call ended this last time I talked to him. And I'm thinking, Lawler, I asked him one time, where did you find this? Where did this guy find you or you find him? But what it was, the guy started hanging around he went to see Lawler at the matches, I think, at WWE. And started talking to him there.
Or USWA. Or maybe WWE.
No, he went to WWE to talk to Lawler.
Oh, okay.
And he convinced him to do this deal, I guess, whatever it was, said he could sell it. And then he says, give him a year with it. We can buy it back for 10% of what we paid for it. And then it's like you just take a vacation with a big payday. Except it didn't last after they took it over. It lasted about another month and it was done. Because, see, they didn't get really paid for the TV in Memphis. How the TVs used to work in the wrestling business was a little territories. They would put their tape on a station and sometimes they would have to pay because it was like
infomercial.
What is it? An infomercial, right. Sometimes it was that. And Memphis actually had the best deal because they actually split the revenue. So if you have something, Memphis had huge ratings. Sometimes they'd have maybe 300,000 or more people watching the show. They had the primetime rating. See, that show could have been on at 8 o'clock at night and it'd draw the same thing. So, and you get it at 11 o'clock in the morning. Unbelievable.